Over the next few days, we are finally going to explore Big Bend, one of the few major national parks we had never been to. We're going to divide this into two sections, Chisos Basin and the Rio Grande Village. Suffice to say, it'll be action-packed, with plenty of hiking trails, high-clearance roads, soaking in the Rio Grande, and even crossing south of the border. Yes, the great Big Bend adventure is next.
I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah.
Did you see that sign? Next service is 88 miles, so we're going remote here. Luckily we have 183 miles of range as of right now. And it's starting to look more and more like the Chihuahuan Desert. Now crossing the Pecos River, Mexico can be seen off in the distance. I have a feeling we're gonna see it a lot more over the next few days. Let's take a break at this picnic area. We're just gonna nuke some Indian food and continue. We've kind of become addicted to this stuff lately. Let me tell you, when time is of the essence and you can use your microwave on battery power, these TV dinners come in really handy. By the way, it is a little bit smoky here today. As of this filming, there are some fires on the Texas Panhandle, and it is really far away from here, but it could be related. Check it out, a yucca! Now we can tell we are really in the Chihuahuan Desert. We're arriving at a town called Sanderson, population 654, according to the sign. We're going to refuel here since gas stations around here are far between. We probably won't see another one until we get to Big Bend. A gas station with a view. Well, Texas has these parking areas. Some of them are called picnic areas, and when they're more developed they are called rest areas, but all of them have this sign here and you can't really see it, but you can stay up to 24 hours in them. So I'm assuming you could potentially, overnight, boondock here. And it does really feel like the Chihuahuan Desert here with all this vegetation, and they've really made them look like the desert here. We're very close to the junction where we're gonna go straight south into Big Bend National Park. Yeah, state law prohibits use of this facility for more than 24 hours or the erection of a tent. It's more like to sleep in an RV like us. Luckily we have a reservation. It's a very tiny site at Chisos Basin. Hopefully we can stay there, and this is a non-generator site, so hopefully our batteries will hold up throughout our time there. Anyway, let's hit the road. We still have like 2 hours to go. In this area, we're starting to see these mesas the American West is so famous for. And here we are. Big Bend is $30 per vehicle, but we have the America the Beautiful annual pass, which is a no-brainer if you're going to visit 3 or more national park units. And there's no one at the gate today, so we must go check in at the visitor center. But tell you what, we're going to the campground first because I'm anxious. I'm anxious to see if we're going to fit. Chisos Basin, which is the campground we're going to first, most of the sites are really small. The
farther south we go, the more interesting the rock formations we see along the way. Those are the Chisos Mountains coming up ahead. This road, by the way, not recommended for trailers over 20 feet or RVs over 24 because of a couple of sharp hairpin turns coming up ahead. We are just a few inches over the mark, but I think it's gonna be okay. Here we go. This is one of those hairpin turns. And this is the Lost Mine Trailhead. It is very popular and the parking lot fills up quickly, so we're going to do that one first thing in the morning. Going down slowly, and using low gear is a must. Here we go, this is the entrance to the campground. Here we have the camp hosts. Our site should be coming up here soon on the right. Ooh, this is going to be tricky.
Well, you take a look at this place. This has got to be one of those bucket list campgrounds, places to visit, and this was one of the major national parks that we had never been to before. This is Big Bend National Park, and this is one of the two campgrounds we're going to stay at here. This one, it's, well, Chisos Basin. We're surrounded by mountains, and what a place. Let me give you the 360 degrees here, and we're walking distance to one of the best trails here in the campground. I mean, in the national park, and I mean it is a tight fit. They don't recommend trailers over 20 feet on that road. We're just a couple of inches. I'm sure there's like a couple of inches of grace, right? But yeah, site 42, that's where we are, and yeah, we just barely fit. Now we're gonna go by the visitor center, get a map, get some information, and then maybe do a short trail, because it is right now 2:30 p.m. and at 5 p.m. Central Time here, we're gonna do a live stream overlooking those mountains back there. What an amazing place.
By the way, did I mention this campground is super hard to get? Usually sold out? Well, I haven't mentioned it in a while, but we used CampNab once again, which is a great tool to find reservations at sold out campgrounds, in state, national parks. You tell them where you want to go. You can even narrow it down to a specific site, and they will send you a text or an email if it becomes available. Because, as you probably know, there are always cancellations. You just have to act quickly once you receive that text, and voila! Anyway, there will be an affiliate link in the video description. And here we are at Chisos Basin Visitor Center.
And the first trail we're gonna do, it's here by the visitor center. And this is the window view trail, and it is a loop, so you can take it clockwise or counterclockwise. Let's take it counterclockwise. Window view trail, 0.3 miles round trip. Piece of cake.
Yes, we ended up doing it clockwise. Here we have it, the window view. There's a trail that goes all the way down to the window, but I'm having second thoughts about doing it. We only have time for a few trails, so we have to pick our battles here. no idea Texas could look like this.
Just can't get over that mountain back there. It's such perfect weather. Look at that, the blue skies. We just have to be careful not to fall off on one of these nopal cacti, right? Because that could be painful.
Yes, nopal, also known as prickly pear. Here's the main viewpoint.
Oh yeah, that is the view.
It is, by the way, very easy, accessible loop trail.
We had some folks back there kind of monopolizing the viewpoint, but this is another beautiful viewpoint here of the window. What time is it? We still have 90 minutes till the live stream.
It's a slightly different angle.
Interesting. I forget the name of this plant. It is very typical of the Chihuahuan desert here.
I just love it. What a great start to our time here in Big Bend. That's Casa Grande Peak, which we can also see from the campground. Or is it Casa Grande? Let me know.
Okay, yeah, if we wanted to walk back to the campground, this is 0.4 miles, but if we want to do the window trail, it's 5 miles round trip going this way. I believe from the campground, that same window trail is a little less, and that's the one that I want to do probably the day after tomorrow.
Let's walk around the campground a little bit. This is the trailhead to the window trail. Everything looks so beautiful at golden hour. The contrast of the deep blue sky with the rocks, it's just magical.
What can I say? This has really got to be top 10, if not top 5 best campsites ever. Good night, everybody.
The moon came out. It's a brand new day. The first area we're going to see today is Santa Elena Canyon, the farthest west we're going to go. We can already see the canyon in the distance. I am very pleasantly surprised by what I've seen here so far. It reminds me more of Utah than Texas. Who knew? What is this place? Desert Mountain Overlook. Let's stop really quick.
The Desert Mountains Overlook. Let's check it out. It certainly feels like the desert.
The tallest peak in the middle, that would be Emery Peak. I was tempted to hike to the summit, but it seems to be an all-day hike. And I'd rather do a few shorter, more rewarding trails. There's the moon setting over Mexico. Let's see if we can see the Rio Grande from here. Yes, I believe that's it. Anyway, let's head to the canyon. Let's stop at the Santa Elena Canyon Overlook. There it is, carved by the Rio Grande. On the right, the United States. On the left, Mexico. It is a very popular trail. There's hardly any parking left. We were actually very lucky to find parking. Someone must have just left. It is also still pretty early. The trail is a pretty easy 1.6-mile round trip with some stairs at the beginning. I am really looking forward to this one.
Here we are, approaching Santa Elena Canyon.
That's the Rio Grande, right there. And we have a road runner. Actually, they are all over the place. You could literally cross into Mexico over those rocks.
Well, here we are. This right here happens to be the Rio Grande. So if we were to cross right here, that is Mexico on that side. And here's an idea that nobody has had yet. How about a zip line going from Mexico to the United States? That'll be a fun ride. Anyway, let's just do the rest of the trail. That's part of the trail up there. That's where we're going. So yeah, we're going to, it's hard to see, but there's a detour here, and then we're gonna start climbing up. Well, yeah, I guess this is it right here. It's gotta be. Are calcite crystals. Very cool. Well, here we begin the ascent up these stairs, which is one of two big ascents on this trail, I believe, according to what I saw on the map. Gotta be very careful with this cacti. I guess you can take a canoe on the Rio Grande. Well, yeah, the higher we go, the better the views of the rest of Big Bend National Park. It is quite a sight right here. The fossils, these rocks. Could that be it?
Yes, apparently 1 million years ago, all this used to be underwater.
Very cool. Let's check out the view. As always, remember to look back, like looking back.
We can see the Chisos Mountains in the distance. And it is, shall I say, a commanding view.
Well, it's a little more steep than we were expecting, but here we go. I think here starts leveling off, and we'll just walk on the side of the canyon here. Yeah, that's the view looking back, the view looking forward. I mean, this is very nice and relatively easy. I mean, we're like probably a third of the way there.
We are now descending down to the river. Then we have some huge rocks.
Look at the sheer size of that cliff.
Well, yeah, the canyon is 1,500 feet deep.
Hello.
Can't really hear anything.
We're approaching these huge boulders here that we saw from afar earlier. is it, the Rio Grande. This seems to be the end, unless you want to keep on swimming here. So let's check it out.
Can't really get messed up.
You allow me, if you don't trust me, you know me long enough.
No one told me there was a beach at the end of the trail. I forgot to bring my bathing suit. Anyway.
Here's the view from the end of the trail, although there may be a few other spurs that offer even better views.
Yeah, maybe I can use AI to remove all the other people here. But this is amazing. Look at that. It's sheer cliff. Which, did I mention? That's Mexico, by the way. Right there. Let's see if the view is any better from over here.
Yes, there are several of these spurs that go to the river and might provide a better view of the canyon.
Alright, whoops. Oh yeah. Check it out. That would be cool. Canoeing up the Rio Grande. This seems to be a much better view from back here. You can see the whole canyon back there. And the sheer cliffs. I mean, this is amazing. Well, we could linger here forever, but we must get back on the trail.
Let's see what the view looks like from here.
Some of these spurs along the way are arguably the better views. I mean, look at this. You can see some of these rocks underwater and walk to the edge, you know. You can see the whole canyon back there. This is very cool. I'm glad we decided to make this our first hike here. Well, our first real hike, because the one yesterday doesn't really count. Our first hike here at Big Bend National Park. What's back here, behind these huge boulders? Oh, there's nothing. I'm just going off trail here. You know, sometimes it's cool to investigate. By the way, just in case you're asking, I did bring my hiking shoes.
That would definitely be something cool to do, to leisurely paddle up the Rio Grande, getting much farther up the canyon. Next time, perhaps. I don't know how soon we're going to return to Big Bend. We're gonna try and check off most of the boxes this time around, but this park is so big. This is it. This is where we start our descent. And off in the distance, I just realized that's the overlook where we were earlier, before we started the hike. Now we have nowhere to go but down. Ooh, check out the Roadrunner. They are actually all over the place.
You're not afraid, are you? Beep, beep. Hello there. Oh yeah, that was a very, very rewarding hike here at Big Bend National Park. Now we're gonna take that road back, and there's a couple more trails that we might do.
This part of the park here just looks unreal, like another planet. It doesn't seem safe to park your rig like that on a blind curve, but anyway, let's park here real quick.
There they are, the mule's ears.
There seems to be a better viewpoint, so let's go there. This is it. As you zoom in, it is like a Monet. The illusion gets a little lost, but it's okay. Let's continue. Next, we're going to do the lower Burro Mesa pour-off trail. I have a feeling this one is going to be pretty spectacular.
Here we go. Let's check out the trailhead.
It is 1 mile, round trip, 120 feet elevation gain. And here's the map. Easy peasy. Oh yeah, what a spectacular landscape. Looking back, we can even see the Santa Elena Canyon in the distance.
I must confess, I had slightly low expectations about this trail, but would you look at that? This is one of the best kept secrets here, I think. Maybe it's not a secret, maybe it was just a secret to me, but yeah. It is getting hot. It's already like almost 2 p.m. and there's one more hike that we might do. So this one is short, we're probably near the end. It's half a mile each way. So we're almost there.
That up there, that's the end of the upper Burro Mesa Trail, which is much longer and a little more strenuous, so maybe next time.
Yeah, this is the end of the trail right here, or over there rather, and apparently when it rains, this becomes kind of like a waterfall. And up there, that's the end of that other trail that we probably won't have time to do today. But this is very cool. Yeah, this has gotta be it. Where it becomes a waterfall when it rains. Luckily, it won't rain today because we just need a little more sun because we are in a no generator zone, and the RV, well, it needs to get all the solar it can get. Let's get some water and head back.
Yeah, that's definitely the pour-off right there.
Oh, another very rewarding trail here, and short actually, at Big Bend. Burro Mesa, right behind us.
That's a huge yucca. We're heading back to the campground. We're going to get something to eat. And there was another trail we wanted to do, the Basin Loop by the Visitor Center, but I think we're going to skip it. It doesn't seem to be all that scenic and we have a big day tomorrow.
Well, after those two hikes, the occasion calls for some hiking food. And chili mac with beef. This is probably good. Well, we followed the instructions, 1.5 cups of water, and we weighed it, stirred it. I have a feeling this is gonna be hot, but it looks yummy. It is hot. It is yummy. Yeah, just what I needed. Good morning. Today we woke up early because we're doing a very popular hike here at Big Bend. I mean, it's 7 a.m. and the parking lot is almost full. We're doing the Lost Mine Trail. 4.8 miles round trip, 1,100 feet elevation. Got plenty of water and plenty of energy. Let's do this.
Here we've got a little bit of a view.
Yeah, I've got a feeling this is gonna be an epic hike.
Here they have some benches in case you want to take a break, but we continue, relentlessly uphill.
So far, fairly easy trail. Although I know we're gonna be hitting some switchbacks as we get closer to the top.
The higher we get, the better the views. Oh yeah, the views keep getting better and better.
Yes, all of a sudden here we have our first expansive view here of the Chisos Mountains, as I said, and does not disappoint. We continue going up. We are what, like 3/4 of a mile in or so. So we're doing great time, actually. By the way, I just ran into some viewers of the channel here. What are the chances of this beautiful hike here? And I have a feeling the views are gonna get even better and better. It's amazing. We just need a little bit of sunshine, that's all. But it's still early.
It is a steady climb.
Down 1 mile, so we should be about halfway up.
That seems to be the window back there. And the next section is going to be like a tunnel through the woods.
Prevent erosion, do not cut switchbacks. I guess we're getting to the switchbacks now. I guess some people just climb up
directly according to all trails. There we go, and I started recording the hike. Not at the beginning, I forgot, so like 5 minutes into the hike. We've done 36 minutes, 1.23 miles. We've gone up over 500 feet. We still have 2 hours to go. That's where we're going. That's where we came from. That's the view. By the way, very good hiking weather today. This morning, it's probably in the mid-50s. But there's like no wind at all to speak of. I mean, a little breeze here and there. I'm not even wearing the microphone. I think it's gonna come out good, just like this. No wind, no sun. I'm breaking a little bit of a sweat, but not much. This is perfect hiking weather. I think that's the campground down there. Yes, it is. I think I see Minitini IV. I think we have reached the end of the switchbacks, so we should be getting fairly close to the top. Here's an even better view of the campground. And there's Minitini behind the tree. That looks like the summit up there somewhere. Yeah, these stairs may be the hardest part. This is definitely the hardest part. Well, this part is really kicking my butt. And one thing I've noticed here in Big Bend, I mean the trail is obvious where it goes, but it's not marked by cairns or by blazes. It's just a trail. Whew. That's what happens when you're a flatlander and you come to the mountains. Well, according to my Galaxy Watch, we are now 2 miles in. Yeah, there's not much more elevation to be gained here. We're almost at the top. Now it's mostly flat. This is just like a flat mesa here at the top. Someone was mentioning a false summit online, and I think this is what they were talking about. I don't know if I'm gonna go all the way up there, but let's see how high. Let's see how high I can climb. I just want to see the view. Yeah, I think this is as high as I'm gonna go.
Well, yeah, these panoramic views were totally worth the hike. Yeah, and it wasn't as strenuous as I thought it was going to be. Let me show you the view to this side as well. Amazing. Well, now let's start heading back. one last view before we start heading back. It is magnificent. I wish I could linger up here forever. Wait till maybe the sun comes out. So all these rocks, they're gonna be a lot more colorful that way. But we're going down. We have one more hike to do, most likely.
It is so cool to be able to see the campground from all the way up here. Now the sun comes out.
I can see the trailhead. We're back. What a hike. That was awesome. After that hike, I need a hearty breakfast. Goodbye, Minitini. We'll see you in a couple hours. By the way, look at that sky. Beautiful sky. I mean, we're getting a few clouds, but we're getting blue skies here. We're gonna get a lot of solar. Not that we need it today because I decided, instead of spending one more day here, I decided to take today, tonight as an early checkout. And we're gonna go to a full hookup site, just so we can replenish, take a long shower, much needed long shower, and fill up our batteries, charge the Jackery, and all that good stuff. And we have to take away the trash. Let me do that real quick. We'll do it on the way back. Yeah, there's we're gonna do one last trail in this section of the park. Look at that.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Basin
That's
Junction.
amazing.
Here we're going to turn onto the main road for a little bit, and then we're going to drive a little over 6 miles on the Grapevine Hills Road, which is unpaved, but fairly well maintained. On this part of the road, you have to go through a wash or two here and there, but I think it is drivable by any vehicle, at least in dry conditions like we have today. Here's a primitive campsite, which by the way you need a backcountry permit to stay at one of these. Maybe next time. According to the website, the road gets worse the farther you go. It is definitely getting progressively worse as we approach the trailhead.
We've made it to the trailhead. This is the Balanced Rock. Here we go. This is where we're going. 3.2 round trip, 80 feet of elevation. Second hike of the day. I have a feeling this one is gonna be great.
Some of these rocks, they look like they have figures sculpted on them. That one almost looks like one of the heads from Easter Island.
By the way, it's really warming up now in the afternoon, so we brought plenty of water, but it's probably in the 90s right now, and with the sun hitting you, There's a breeze though, and the breeze feels very nice. It's a cannonball, like the ones you see in the Badlands. I wonder if they are geologically related. Well, there's plenty of boulders everywhere, so. Such amazing geological formations. It makes you wonder what forces of nature, made this landscape happen, And we are just a quarter of a mile in, so a quarter of the way in is 1 mile in, 1 mile out. And as I say many times, don't forget to look back. Even though we're gonna come this way, but many times the best views can be behind you. That's why when you hike, when you do any hike or any drive, it's a different experience going there and then coming back, because what's in front of you is different, or what's behind you in this case. Yeah. Such interesting vegetation. All right, there's our balanced rock. We can turn around now.
I'm just kidding, of course.
And again, I noticed that most of these trails, or all these trails at Big Bend, they don't have blazes or really well-marked cairns. I mean, there's rocks here and there, but sometimes it's kind of hard to follow the trail. I mean, over here it is obvious where the trail is, but that is not always the case. What a different hike, right? We've done 2 totally different hikes today. And this is the reason why I love coming to the West. Even though this is like the beginning of the West here, but all these sandstone formations, it's so unique. I think we're almost at the end. I see people up there. I guess it is this way. Yeah, as always, don't forget to look back. This has been another beautiful hike here. And this is the fun part. They said like some scrambling was required, but it's really not that bad. That one's like a hand going like this. I don't know. Well, they have a sign just so you don't get confused and go the other way. Which the other way is quite a nice view, actually. Well, I didn't bring a hands-free mount, so I'll catch up with you on the other side of this.
It actually feels really good in the shade.
That's kind of steep.
1 mile completed.
Amazing rock formations.
I think we've made it to the balanced rock. We have arrived at the famous balanced rock. As is the case at places like this, everybody wants to take the picture with the balanced rock. So let's walk around and investigate a little bit to see what else there's around here. It's like a little cave. Let's see what's back here.
Eventually, we're able to take the coveted photo with no one behind.
Down and down we go. Well, I didn't really film it because I had my hands full. Don't tell anybody, but we went off trail. We missed the trail. I don't know what happened. I felt like Tristan of SUV RVing, you know, climbing on the scrambling on rocks. I mean, at no point we were in any real danger of falling to our certain death, but we could have, you know, twisted an ankle or whatnot. But we did it. Ili did it. Ili the climber. Now we're gonna get back to the RV and start packing up because we're going to full hookups. I need a real shower and a real shave, and we've been roughing it for a couple of days here, but it was worth the roughness. I mean, the roughing it.
And we're back at the trailhead. We're going back to Chisos Basin, and here we have a dust devil. I believe that in the distance is the area we're visiting tomorrow, the Sierra del Carmen, and that would be on the Mexican side of the border. And for some reason, jeeps are always in a hurry.
Off we go. I'm certainly gonna miss this place. This is one of the best, one of the most scenic campgrounds. One of the most scenic campgrounds we've ever stayed at, for sure. Just make sure we don't hit anything on the way out.
There's a turnaround somewhere back there. This is it. Saying goodbye to this marvelous place. Now the road will take us west, outside the park, to a town called Terlingua. We've heard great things. Here we are exiting the park through the western entrance. We're going to be staying at Paisano Village RV Park and Inn, It seems to be a good location, close to the entrance to the park, since we're coming back tomorrow, and close to Terlingua as well. Here's our site. We're pointing in the wrong direction, but we'll make it work.
Well, this is Paisano RV Park here in Study Butte. Very close to Terlingua, which is where we're going next. We're gonna take a shower, get a little more presentable. And it is legitimately hot, so I don't know what we're gonna do if we have to boondock tomorrow. Dry camp at Rio Grand Village. But for now, let's see. We have like 2 hours of daylight, so there's not a whole lot we're gonna be able to do, but we might come back later. After all that, let me tell you, it's been only 2 days, but after 2 days boondocking, yeah, it is gonna feel very nice to have full hookups.
Here we are, arriving in Terlingua, which also happens to be a ghost town. And there are several places to eat, but we're looking for one in particular. Here we are, Starlight Theater, which also seems to be the town's local hangout spot. There's a little bit of a wait, so we have some time to kill.
Here's the view from the front porch. Terlingua jail.
Are those the mule's ears in the distance?
It's a prickly pear margarita.
Yeah, we decided to come to the cantina while we waited.
The famous Starlight Theater. Let's check the Terlingua jail here while we wait for our table. Okay. It looks historic. It is right next to the bathroom, so I don't know. By the way, we cleaned up, didn't we? Alright, he says 45-minute wait. Hopefully it is less, but the margaritas are awesome. Apparently made with the nectar made from the prickly pear cactus.
Yeah, this front porch seems to be the main hangout. And our turn finally came, so let's eat.
Santa Helena margarita.
We ordered the smoked brisket queso.
We got the brisket.
The brisket is a little too lean for my taste, but the ambience is great.
Alright, that was the Starlight Theater. We have like half an hour of daylight left, so let's see what we can see. That is one big truck. Texas-sized truck.
Let's check out the ruins of the old mercury mining town. It is kind of late to do a proper tour, but suffice to say, this was a booming town from the late 1800s through the first few decades of the 20th century. It is nowadays mostly a touristy town due to its proximity to Big Bend, but still very cool to see what remains, and I can see they have built some new structures around the ruins. There's the old St. Agnes Terlingua Church, established sometime around 1914. The name of the town apparently derived from tres lenguas, or three languages in Spanish, referring to English, Spanish, and Native American, the three languages spoken here in the days of the Old West. I am really taking advantage of the last few rays of sunlight here. Maybe we have time to stop at the cemetery. The cemetery dates back to the early 1900s and is still in use to this day. It is listed in the National Registry of Historic Places.
Unfortunately, we're running out of daylight real quick here. This was very interesting. Cemetery. Definitely a desert sunset.
With that, we're saying goodbye to the Terlingua ghost town. We barely knew ya, but tomorrow great adventures await at Big Bend.
Well, good morning. Almost afternoon, really. It's 10:54 a.m. But you know, we worked a little bit here in the morning, and now we're gonna go to our next destination, Rio Grande Village, here there on Big Bend National Park. But first, there's a small town. We have like 2 hours to kill, and it's only 1 hour drive. There's a town called Lajitas, which seems to be pretty cool. It's right on the border with Mexico, so we're gonna go there first. Which, by the way, Paisano RV Park here, pretty nice. I mean, no complaints. We didn't get a chance to enjoy it, really. I mean, we were just here for one night with full hookups, a long shower, you know, charge our battery. My only concern for the next 2 days is gonna be rather warm. Not ideal for dry camping, but we'll see.
Here we are. There's a bunch of resorts, a golf course, equestrian activities, but we're not going to do any of that. Now that we've killed roughly an hour in order to make time for our check-in at Rio Grand Village, let's get back into the park. can already see the Sierra del Carmen mountains in the distance. A little hazy today. Here we are, Rio Grand Village. This one I was also able to reserve using CampNab. I'll put a link in the description. Our loop doesn't allow generators, so unless we get a lot of solar, we're gonna have to be very judicious with our power consumption.
Well, here we are. This is the Rio Grande Village campground, and we are at site 30 here for reference. My only concern with this campground, with this site, is this is a no generator zone, and it's getting hot, and there's absolutely no cell phone signal here. So if anything, we would want to do anything, we would have to turn on Starlink, which miraculously works with all this vegetation on top, and it's working great, and we're getting some solar, so it may be good. And it's a nice site. Not as nice as the one we had earlier, but we even have some mountain views back there in the distance. So, you know, we might hang out here later today. I mean, in the shade, it doesn't feel so bad, but in the sun, you know, it's that dry desert heat. Well, we're gonna do at least one hike today, so let's get to it. Yeah, this is the view from our site.
Check it out, European RV. Let's stop here first at the Rio Grande Overlook.
So here we are at the Rio Grande Overlook. Let's check it out. Just be careful not to fall on one of these.
It should be a short trek to the overlook. I guess we can't really see the Rio Grande from the Rio Grande Overlook. However, we can see the Sierra del Carmen on the Mexican side. Actually, the hill in the foreground is the United States, and the taller mountains behind it are Mexico. Let's continue. Next, we are going to take the Old Ore Road, which requires high clearance, four-wheel drive. Yeah, it should be fun. This is the reason why we got Starship in the first place, right? To be able to access places like this. Something we may not be able to do if we get a Class C. But then again, there's a time and a place for everything, and there are things we'll be able to do with a Class C that we can't do now. So, there. Oh, this is going to be a fun ride. There's a grave here coming up. Perhaps we'll stop by on the way back. Here we are, at the trailhead.
Well, as it is the case with this national park, not very well marked, the trailhead, but it seems to be this way, according to all trails.
Here we are walking on the wash, and it would seem the canyon is that way.
I'm assuming this is the trail because I saw some people coming, so, but it's not very well marked. You do feel like you are in the desert with that yucca plant there. Luckily, it's right now, lucky for us that we're doing the hike. There's a little bit of a cloud cover, so because I forgot to bring my hat. But we have plenty of water, so we should be good.
And here's looking back. This part coming up almost looks man-made, like someone laid all these rock slabs here on top of each other. And there are animal droppings everywhere. I hope it is not bears. We are entering the canyon, and I love to see all these rock layers. Such beautiful layers on these rocks. This is certainly different from everything else we've seen here so far at Big Bend. It is such a diverse park. The canyon keeps getting narrower and narrower, like a slot canyon, and there are supposed to be some water holes coming up. This is it. Not the kind of water hole you would swim in. The water looks like it's been standing there for a while. The canyon keeps going farther back, but I don't know how much more I want to go. It might get a little sketchy.
Let's keep going a little bit. I had to scramble back there just a tad, but according to old trails, it keeps going just a little bit. So I'm just gonna make it to this other water hole and then we'll come back.
This one seems to be dry.
Yeah, I think this is as far as I'm gonna go.
Yeah, there's a little bit of scrambling involved in order not to fall into one of those water holes or tinajas.
Yeah, I really think this is the best part. It may get better farther down, but we're gonna start heading back. It's getting really hot, but up to here is definitely a beautiful, rewarding hike for sure. By the way, contrary to what my shirt says, I did bring my hiking shoes.
Here's that gravesite. Let's stop really quick to see it.
We stopped here on the side of the road because there's a tomb here. Let's find out who it is. From 1932. Juan de Leon, born June 24th, 1906 in Boquillas del Carmen, died July 19th, 1932. Quarters and dimes and even pennies. Interesting. Well, let's keep going.
Check out that view of the Sierra del Carmen. We must be really close to the campground now. Even though the border crossing is closed today, Monday, and tomorrow, Tuesday, let's stop by and see what it is like. Well, yeah, it is closed, as expected. There it is, across the Rio Grande, the small town of Boquillas del Carmen. It all begins with some beef kielbasa that we're going to slice and saute, some frozen onions and peppers, salt, black pepper, a little bit of cumin, paprika, and some cayenne pepper for good measure. We're going to mince some garlic. Vino seco, the not-so-secret ingredient, and some tomato sauce. Now let's really throw a curve here and add some frozen riced cauliflower. Let me tell you, it almost tastes like rice, but without all the carbs. I'm adding a little bit of water too.
Let's walk around a little bit.
We're going to do the nature trail. It is less than a mile and right next to the campground. Here we have some souvenirs left by folks from the other side of the river that you can buy using the honor system actually. Beautiful sunset here, and we're getting some pretty good views of the river. We're running out of daylight really quick here, but I'm glad we decided to do this nature trail. A little farther down, or up rather, we get these outstanding views of the Sierra del Carmen. What a beautiful sunset. I just wish we had gotten here a little earlier. There it is once again, Boquillas del Carmen. Hopefully, we'll be able to visit on Wednesday. Let's get back to the campground before it gets dark. Tomorrow will be another day full of adventure.
Well, good morning. Our battery is down to 40%, so we're gonna give it a little help here. And pretty soon we're gonna get some solar, so hopefully we'll get it back up to like 60%. Well, the jacker is so dirty.
Here's the convenience store and the full hookups RV park. Maybe next time, huh? Anyway, the idea is to do the Boquillas Canyon Trail, which should be similar to the Santa Elena Canyon, also on the Rio Grande. Let's stop here by the Boquillas Overlook first.
The Boquillas Overlook.
Here we have all these crafts and souvenirs handmade by artisans from south of the border, from Boquillas del Carmen. And you can buy them here on the honor system. Very cool and very unique. I guess they just cross the river by boat in order to sell their crafts. There it is, the backside of Boquillas del Carmen. Let's continue towards the trailhead. Here we are, Boquillas Canyon Trail.
Well, we're gonna do Boquillas Canyon Trail, which is, as you saw, it's not very long, it's just a little steep, and today is a hot one, so luckily we've got plenty of water, and I think we're gonna be fine. It's supposed to have beautiful views, so let's do it. And everywhere you look, you find souvenirs from the town across the river, from Boquillas, on our system, so pretty cool. We might get something. Someone's crossing the river on horseback. That's the Rio Grande, so they're crossing from the US into Mexico.
Actually, from Mexico into the US, probably to bring more souvenirs.
Yeah, crossing from Mexico into the USA, but I'm sure they're from the town.
What a unique border this is.
Well, the beginning is this straight uphill climb here. And that's probably horse poop. Yeah, there's a gentleman selling tamales and empanadas. Very cool. Same, we're gonna go into the town across the river tomorrow, hopefully.
That's the road ahead. Here's another gentleman on horseback also selling souvenirs from Mexico.
It's looking more and more impressive, and as I always say, don't forget to look back because there's always a different view. But
I think I liked Santa Elena Canyon better, but this is not bad. Not bad at all. Had this been the first one we saw, we would have thought it was magnificent too.
we are now entering Boquillas Canyon. And this, of course, the Rio Grande. That right there is Mexico. Well, this is the one trail I forgot to save on my All Trails app, but according to Google Maps, which I do have downloaded, it doesn't go much more further down than this.
Let's see how far it goes, which, yeah, by the way, there is no cell phone signal anywhere around here. So all research must be done in advance, and maps must be pre-downloaded if you want to use them. It looks like we're almost at the end.
It keeps going a little more. I see tracks, so people have walked through here.
Now this kind of looks like the end of the trail.
Yeah, there's a little more scrambling on the rocks on that side, but I don't think the view gets any better, so this is as far as we're gonna go. If you've gone all the way, let me know. Yeah, now heading back. Oh, Rio, Rio, right across the Rio Grande. I think this is the hottest it's been since we've been here. Oh, it feels like 100. I'm thinking of, asking one of the Mexican guys that's selling, tamales and stuff to lend me his horse to go across the hill. Maybe they can take us across the hill.
Such an imposing and impenetrable wall. All kinds of interesting rocks here. Some of them even look like they're shining or glowing. And here's once again our friendly neighbor on horseback, selling souvenirs. And now for the fun part, we have to go up and down the hill once again. Here we have some Mexican cows. They look just like American cows, probably equally delicious, coming to the creek to drink some water. Such great views from up here. And here we have more cows crossing the Rio Grande. Or is it Rio Grande? I know that would be the Spanish pronunciation, but please let me know. How would you say it? Rio Grande or Rio Grande?
Well, there was a gentleman selling tamales and empanadas, as I said, on the top of the hill, but we're gonna see if we can get something to eat tomorrow in town. Now we're gonna see if we can get something to eat by Chisos.
So yeah, we came by Chisos Lodge for lunch with a view. Unfortunately, they had a power outage, so the menu is very limited.
Alright, so the one unexpected thing here about this campground is that there is no generator allowed. So our battery, even though it's being sunny, with that refrigerator is a power hog. Our battery is still down to 50%. So we've been driving around the park. Basically, that's the strategy. Charging the Jackery, and I'm gonna keep that Jackery charged as much as possible. It's at 44% right now. In case of emergency, if tomorrow morning when we wake up we're at 0, at least we can plug in the Jackery and have water, Yeah, Starlink also it's a power hug, but that we knew.
In 300 feet, turn right.
In any case,
Turn right, then turn left.
We're going to the hot springs.
Yes, there are some historic hot springs. I'm telling you, I think this park has everything. In order to get to the hot springs, first we have to take this 2-mile gravel road, and then there's an extra quarter mile on foot. There are several ruins dating back to the early 1900s.
Check it out, more souvenirs here. It's a thing.
Well, according to the website, it is illegal to purchase items from vendors operating on the Mexican side of the Rio Grande. Who knew?
That's where we're going, the trail. Well, here we go. It is half a mile to the hot springs. Cool, there's the post office. This used to be the post office.
All this part of the Langford homestead. So picturesque with that palm tree. This is one of several historic buildings built by Langford. The bathhouse, however, is long gone, but the post office is actually pretty well preserved. This would have been the motor court, built in the mid-1920s to accommodate for the increasing number of tourists visiting the hot springs. There are supposed to be some pictographs on the rocks, but we couldn't find them. Perhaps I was too excited to get on the hot springs, to swim in the international waters of the Rio Grande. Or perhaps I got distracted by the wild horses blocking our way.
Hello fellas, do you mind if we pass? Hello horsey.
A little too close for comfort here. Hopefully we won't be seen as a threat.
Hi. Good horse. Yes, good horse. I thought it was gonna feel better in the shade, but it is not. It is a hot day today. Oh man.
This doesn't even look natural. And look at all those nests. That's where we're going. I see some people in the water.
Here we are. We've made it to the hot springs. Yeah, it's pretty hot. That's the Rio Grande right there.
Even though it is not recommended, I'm going to cool off in the river.
This is perfect. Actually, the river feels pretty refreshing, and right here, it's not so cold. When have you ever been able to say that you're swimming right at a border? This is it. Probably technically in Mexico right now. Alright, I think we've had enough fun for one day. I went back into the hot spring for a little bit, and now I think we're gonna start heading back.
One of those top platforms.
It feels cool outside.
Wow, that was such a great experience.
Well, that was really cool. Cool experience. Actually, hot and then cool, if you know what I mean. I think this is all we're gonna do today. I was gonna do the river road, but it's getting late and anyway.
Such a change in vegetation right here next to the river. It is like an oasis. Here we have more Mexican souvenirs and what remains of the Livingstone house built by one Charles Livingston. What a great way to end our day here at the Rio Grande area of Big Bend. Now tomorrow we've got one more thing, and I'm so glad we remembered to bring our passports.
Well, good morning. Guess what? We have our passports ready because today we're crossing the river. I smell bacon.
Yes, we have javelinas.
Alright, let's do this. That's the border crossing right there. Oh, welcome to Mexico.
From here, it should be a short hike down to the river. And that's our ferry.
Well, here we are. This has to be like the most unique way to cross the border on a rowboat.
Well, you don't even have to row, you can just wade. In fact, some people just do that. But we opted for the $5 fare in order to remain dry.
Welcome to Mexico.
Gracias. Right, there are 4 ways to get into town. They can give you a ride in a truck. You can take a burro or a caballo, you know, a horse. But we're just gonna walk. It's a 3/4 mile, and it's good exercise in the morning. I was really thinking of getting on one of the burros, you know, to get into town. But the thing is that, you know, they stick around with you all day, apparently, all the time. I mean, we're gonna be here for like 2 hours. But I don't feel we really need a guide. We just wanna, you know, patronize the 3 establishments in town and maybe see a little bit of the history, but that's it. So freaking cool, we're in Mexico. Calderon Springs, but we're going to Boquillas Village, still half a mile. It's a little bit of a hike. Maybe we should have taken the burro.
One thing to consider is that if you opt for the ride, the person who comes with you becomes your guide for the day. I imagine most people would prefer that, to have a guide. Being in a foreign country can be intimidating, and you may be able to get some unique insights. But we speak the language, we're comfortable enough, and we'd rather explore the town at our own leisure, without someone shadowing us all the time. The folks on the burros, by the way, are viewers of this channel.
There is Boquillas del Carmen. Hello, burrito. Well, here we are. We have arrived at Boquillas del Carmen, Mexico. What does a burro and a burra do? They accept PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. And they have Wi-Fi. They have Wi-Fi. That might be worth the price of admission right there.
There's no cell phone signal anywhere in town.
Hola, buenos días.
Lots of souvenirs for sale everywhere.
Let's present ourselves to Mexican immigration right here.
You gotta check in with the local authorities.
Well, here we paid $4 per person because just like in the US, we're in a national park. This is also a protected area here in Mexico. So, and now we're gonna go to, there are two restaurants. We're probably gonna try both. Riverview Patio or indoor. And this is one of two restaurants here in town. This is Jose Falcon Restaurant and Bar, and there's Boquillas Restaurant.
We decided to come into Jose Falcon first because of the views, and there's live music.
It goes like one margarita. One, at least one. And we got some chips and salsa.
We're not really that hungry, so we opted for something light. Besides, we want to eat across the street as well, sample the local cuisine. Let's check out the view.
Here we are. That's the Rio Grande, and that's the United States over there.
That's where we're parked, across the river. And here's the town from this perspective. Not sure exactly what those ruins are down there. Very pleasant outdoor patio here at Jose Falcon. My grandmother used to have one of those.
Jose Falcon.
We're going to come back for a proper lunch later, but first, let's walk around town. Actually, I might get myself a t-shirt.
This is a historical site here, La Morena Bar and Liquor. I guess. You have to be careful because there's a lot of horse and donkey poop everywhere. This is very interesting, but let's go check out the bar.
Before the bar, let's walk to the other end of town, work up our appetite. Let's step inside the small church. Very simple inside. Just a crucifix, some statues, and the painting of Our Lady of El Carmen.
It's a rooster.
Next, we'll check out the town's bar.
Oh, there wasn't a whole lot of ambience at the bar, so we're gonna try the other restaurant in town, which is very aptly called Boquillas Restaurant.
Here we have some interesting art on the wall. We're having the local brew called Carta Blanca, and we ordered a little bit of everything.
Cabrito tacos and chicken tamales and enchiladas.
Well, we ate at Boquillas restaurant, and now I think we're gonna have one last margarita at Jose Falcon. And it's like one last margarita in Mexico. Well, we're going back north of the border, and I've met 3 viewers here today in Boquillas, of all places. Go figure. Anyway, now we have that 3/4 mile hike, work off our margaritas and get on the rowboat back to the United States. Yeah, saying goodbye to Boquillas del Carmen. But tell you what, I'd like to return someday and eat at the other restaurant, just to compare. Well, this is really out of the way, so I don't know. We're ready to take the ferry back to the USA. Oh, hello there. And here we have all the horses and burros. Crossing the Rio Grande, back to the USA. Back in the USA we are.
And just like that, our adventure south of the border is over. Now, all we have to do is go through immigration, which at this port of entry is just like a Zoom call.
We just came from there. How cool is that? And with that, we're kind of saying goodbye to Big Bend National Park. I think this is the longest we've ever stayed at a national park. At a particular national park. But this national park is so big and so remote that, what are the chances? Someday we might return here, but it's one of those that it might take us a while to come back. I really enjoyed going to Boquillas, Mexico today. That was one of the highlights for sure. Now we're going north. It's getting too hot in the south. Mexico, Arizona. Well, here we are at Davis Mountains State Park. I'm looking for the dark skies, so hopefully it'll clear up a little bit. But we also came for something else. Let me show you. Full hookups. Sometimes it is the little things. Tomorrow we're going north towards New Mexico.
On the next one, we'll visit some of the more remote parts of New Mexico, which will include Valley of Fires and the very large array. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the road. riding in my